If you are 55 years or older, you need to get serious about retirement, what it looks like, when you can retire, and realistically how you're going to make your money last. In a study done by CNBC, 67% of 55-year-olds surveyed fear they will outlive their savings. Now, in today's video, we're going to dive into the 5 critical steps that you need to take to ensure you're really ready for retirement. And if you're a homeowner, I've got a bonus one for you at the end. And if you haven't started saving yet or you don't feel prepared, don't worry, you still have time, but we do need to get things moving, so let's dive in. Step 1, you need to calculate out how much income you'll need in retirement to retire comfortably. And most people need on average somewhere between 70 to 80% of their pre-retirement income to live that same lifestyle. But this isn't true for everybody. So what I want you to do is sit down and create a list of all of your monthly expenses and highlight or circle the ones that are fixed that you know for sure will carry on into retirement, and then add in any line items for additional leisure or travel or fun things you want to do with your family. And let's not forget about those pesky medical costs. Medicare does kick in by age 65, but it doesn't cover everything. And one of the largest expenses most people have in retirement is medical expenses. So you may need to factor in a line item for additional supplemental insurance plans and possibly long-term care. This is a very crucial step to take because calculating out this budget is going to let you know how much additional money you need to be saving today to make sure you can, in fact, retire comfortably. Step 2, we've got to get that financial snapshot. This step is all about getting a clear picture about where you stand today financially. So I need you to list down all of the different financial accounts that you currently have money saved into today. Make sure you separate these by accounts that grow tax deferred versus accounts that grow tax free. Then what I want you to do is write out the current balance that you have inside of each one of the accounts, as well as how much you are contributing into each one consistently per month or per year. Step 3, diversification is key. As you approach retirement, you want to have a well-balanced portfolio that manages your risk and ensures your money will grow for you over time. So take a look at the list you created in step 2, look at the online accounts for your investment accounts and see what are the holdings that you have inside those investment portfolios. A good general rule of thumb is the closer you get to needing your money, the less risk you should be taking on it. You want to have a combination and a clean mixture of stocks and bonds and high yield savings accounts or money market accounts and annuities. Annuities are great to have in your portfolio because they give you guarantees. They give you guarantees on the account balance, and some can even give you a guaranteed income stream in retirement without any stock market risk. If you want to learn more about annuities, I have a ton of videos on my page. Subscribe for more. Step 4, we're going to estimate out your retirement income. So we're going to do a little math. I need you to go back to step 2, pull out that list, and we're going to plug those numbers into a financial calculator. You can literally just Google for any type of financial calculator that you are looking for, and it's going to be free. I'm a big fan of MoneyChimp because their calculators are super easy to use and they are free. So we're going to do an example as if you had a 401k. So if you literally just Google MoneyChimp 401k calculator, it will pull up the link for you to click on and it will take you directly over to their page where you can plug in your information. So let's just pretend that you have a current 401k account balance of $500,000. You will plug that into the current balance section. Then let's assume that you're putting in $24,000 a year, which is essentially $2,000 a month. Let's take a look and assume that your employer's match is $6,000 going in and that your goal is to retire by age 60, so that is 10 years from now. And let's give yourself an average 7% rate of return. That is pretty standard. As you start to transition into retirement, you're going to see lower rates of return because you should be in more conservative investments. And then if you just click that button that says calculate, that's going to give you an estimated balance at retirement of about $1.427 million. Pre-tax, right? Pre-tax dollars if this is a traditional 401k. Now, to figure out how much you will actually have in income in retirement, you transition down to the bottom section. It's going to ask the investment rate of return. I usually just say 4 or 5% at the most because, again, you should be in things that are more conservative when you're in retirement. And let's assume that you're going to live for approximately 30 years, that you might live to be age 90. And honestly, I keep the tax rate at 25% because we don't know where taxes are going to be in the future. They could be higher, some anticipate being lower. It really kind of depends on how much income you're taking out. But for sake of this example, let's just leave it at 25%. And when you click calculate, that's going to give you an annual estimated payout in retirement of $88,400 a year, minus approximately $22,000 in taxes, will net you about $66,000 after taxes every single year. Now, there are accounts very similar to this that can also use this calculator, such as an IRA, and you can also do this for a Roth 401k or a Roth IRA. You just don't subtract out the taxes. Now, you want to make sure that you do this for every single account that you have on your spreadsheet, and you're going to take the actual balance numbers that you see at retirement and the income in retirement after taxes and put that on your spreadsheet. You want to make sure the spreadsheet, again, is separated from tax deferred versus tax free. And do not forget to include any estimated income coming from a pension plan or coming from Social Security. Okay, now that we've calculated out an estimate of how much income you're going to need in retirement compared to how much you can actually expect to receive, we need to move on to step 5, which is creating a withdrawal strategy. And this step is really crucial because we don't want you to run out of money in retirement. I'm sure you don't either. And depending on the type of account you have, based on how it grows and based on how it gets taxed, you might want to access money out in retirement at different points. For example, if the money is growing in a more volatile account, like an IRA or a 401k, you might want to start withdrawing money out of that sooner compared to if it's growing in something that's more guaranteed, like an indexed annuity or like a cash value insurance policy where you don't have to worry about losing money. Also, taxes, right? If your money is growing in something that's tax deferred, that means it's going to have an RMD requirement on it. Meaning by the time you turn age 73, as of the date this video is being produced at least, you're going to have to start taking out your required minimum distribution every year. So it might make sense to start pulling money from those accounts first. Compared to accounts that are growing tax-free, which would be anything that's considered a Roth or any sort of cash value insurance policy, there's no RMD requirement, so you can have your money sit there for as long as you want. You don't have to start pulling money out at a certain point. If you're a homeowner, I've got a bonus step for you. You've got to set up a living will and trust. As soon as you start to acquire assets, you want to get these documents in place because they are the only legal documents that exist that allow all of your assets to bypass having to go through probate court if and when you pass away. The trust will legally tell the court what you want to have happen to all of your stuff when you are no longer alive. So if you love your family, if you love your loved ones, this is a step that you will make a priority taking, because if you do not have this in place, your next of kin is required to step up and process putting all of your assets through probate court. It is very expensive, it is very painful, and it is very lengthy, and it's something that they cannot avoid doing. So if you love them, please do this, especially as you're transitioning into retirement, because that is the time when these conversations start to happen and you just want to make sure you have all of your ducks in a row. There you go. Those are the 5 critical steps that you need to take if you're age 50 or older to ensure that you're ready for retirement. Now, this video is not meant to be taken as investment advice. I recommend, if you want some professional consultation, that you connect with a licensed financial professional where you live to help navigate you through these steps and different types of accounts that you should have in place as you get closer to retirement. If you'd like to work with me or my team and you live in the US, easy. Click the link in my bio or in the description below, and that will give you access to my calendar where you can set up a time for us to meet one-on-one. If you like this video, please share it with anyone you know that is age 50 or older or getting close to retirement, and click that subscribe button and hit the bell to turn on notifications because I release a new video every single week. See you back here next week on YouTube.